I hope you're having an amazing day. My name is Colin, and in this video we're going to do a full price prediction including a buying and selling strategy for Magicraft. Nothing in this video is financial advice, it is for entertainment purposes only. If you don't know anything about Magicraft, I will link a full research report below in the description where you can learn more about Magicraft team and what the game is actually about. Today we're just going to talk in this video about the pricing. When to sell, when to buy, what the opportunities are medium and short term. So the reason I will give you why I invested into this project is because of the investor foundation advisor team, so to say. So the advisors on this team are all big marketers, which I think that if they promote this project, which they haven't really done yet, the price will explode. In addition to that, Magicraft yesterday made the announcement that they are going to announce a centralized exchange, which will happen today, the announcement, tomorrow, the listing. That's why I'm creating this video for you right now, because the buying and selling opportunities are hot. If you missed Magicraft and the initial pump, because you didn't watch my videos, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any gems, because the returns have been significant, right? This is the chart for the last day. However, I didn't get in the last day. I actually got in right here. So you can see I got in at about 6.7 of a cent-ish, like 0.0067. And right now, obviously, there's almost 1,000% gain, which is obviously extremely big. I'm extremely happy. This is just a price prediction. I don't really know what I'm doing 99% of the time, but this time I was correct, which feels great. My community, you may be watching or in the Discord where I usually announce these things earlier, have had a tremendous benefit. The crazy thing is Bitcoin took a huge dive, but Magicraft still went up. There's an extremely good indication of the hype. If you look at the daily volume, it literally, when I purchased, went from 500,000 all the way to a current daily volume of 21 million. Market cap has significantly increased, and we'll take all those things into consideration, because when is the right time to sell? That is a good question. With Bitcoin either going to recover or not recover, it has a slight influence on the strategy we're going to apply. Now, with the announcement coming up, in the white paper they announced that there will be 2 centralized exchanges in the first quarter of 2021. I think with the hype they have achieved so far, they're going to make that sooner, the first centralized exchange, and that will happen tomorrow. The trading will open, and today the announcement will come. So what I recommend you to do is follow Magicraft on Twitter, enable announcement, as I have done, so I get a notification every time they send out a tweet, so I'll be the first one to know, as it will be important for the price prediction. I have my Excel here. Yes, these Excels are quite boring, but this is the foundation, not the foundation you want, but the foundation you need. People ask me all the time, Colin, how do you find these micro jam gaming tokens? This is exactly how I do it. I put in the effort and I get the result. I invested $986. The value right now is $9,727, and that's in 2 days. Note, this is not average performance. This is literally 1 out of 25, 1 out of 50 investments I make, right? The ROI, 886% at the moment, and I have about 141,000 tokens. This is information from CoinMarketCap as displayed on the thumbnail of this video. I have the Moonsheet right here. The Moonsheet is based on CryptoRank, not on CoinMarketCap. So they are registering a 1.5% circulating supply, and they have their full Moonsheet. But the Moonsheet doesn't go far enough. It only goes 25x, and I think we can achieve more than that. So that's why I'm doing it in Excel, and we can see if it matches up to the statistics that we have here. Now, of course, one thing I want you to keep in mind before we go into detail in the actual calculations, it is never too early to take profit. Most of you are from the Moonboy crew, right? Follow a lot of Moonboy crypto content creators, which is fine. I'm not going to bash them or anything, but that's not me, right? I base everything on research. That's my approach, which is not really on the hype side. So you can never sell too early. If you take profit, you're here. specifically right now focused on Magicraft to earn a profit as an investor. That's what I believe is the main goal. So whether you take out a 1x, 2x, 3x, that's more than what you had before. You can't always take 100x, right? Sooner or later, this project might have a huge sell-off because early investors, if you look at the IDO pricing, early investors from the IDO took either a 17x or a 12x already. So these might take profit, right? People who have bought in the early stages, so literally right here, will also start to take profit because for them a 15x is sufficient, right? Yes, they could have gotten more, but what I usually hear is could have, should have, would have. That's not what we're looking at. We're looking at how things are right now. Very much important. One thing I want to stress, if you sell early, you take profit, and that's what we're focused on. We move on to the next project. There are right now in the crypto space infinite amount of opportunities. You just have to put in the work to find them. And I can hopefully shine some light on the situation as well. So don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. All right, that was enough of the motivational speech. Let's make some calculations. Because right now we're sitting at a price of about 6.9 cents. All right, 7 cents is basically fluctuating, right? And I've seen people like sell, that's why I'm mentioning it, right? They sold like after the initial all-time high here, it dipped, and then again all-time high because of the Bitcoin fluctuations as well. But whether you sold here, or here, it's not a big deal. I'm just not selling yet, and I will tell you why. All right, so let's drag out the price a little bit. Let's pull this multiple. Let's do 100x. Let's do a 50x because I don't think it will reach that far. 50x is sufficient. Then the price would reach a point of 30 cents. Well, maybe it will reach that far. And the market cap according to CryptoRank would then only be still 45 million. Right, yeah, we can go a little bit further. Let's go to 100x. Just a little bit further. The price would then come down to 60 cents, which I think a little bit high. 90 million. Right, okay. So right now we're sitting currently at about 7 cents on 23 million. Is that correct? 7 cents? No. See, so the circulating supply must be a tad higher, which I assume that CoinMarketCap take into consideration the liquidity being added, but it also has not been verified, the market cap. So the circulating supply currently, this market cap might not resemble the actual market cap, or CryptoRank, who takes into consideration 1.5% circulating supply, might not be accurate. I always use CryptoRank because it tends to be quite more accurate in my opinion than CoinMarketCap, because they really focus on the IDO and post-listing results. So do take that into consideration that this market cap, which I am basing my prediction, right, might not be as accurate. So there will be some fluctuations there, which we call the moving area, right? So basically this entire section has already been covered, right? So the 10x, right, 11x, has already been completed. And that's basically what you're seeing here, which is the 11.74x from IDO. So I entered about just over here, and I have about a 9x, a little bit more. I'm just sitting right under a 10x right now, which is I'm extremely happy about it. And you can say, Colin, why didn't you invest 10 grand? Because you could have done that. Because it's a risk to reward ratio. This is a micro cap coin. It's very high risk, but potentially very high reward. So I just put in $1,000 in my video. If you watch the white paper review, the team review, I even said that I was going to do 2,000. And I was like, oh, you must feel stupid that you didn't put 2,000. I don't have any regret because I'm happy with the gains that I made. Right? I'm not looking at should have, would have, could have. I'm looking at how things are right now and the progress we made so far. And the lessons we learn along the way. Oh, so deep today, so deep. Anyway, let's focus on the money. So the question is, they're going to bring in a centralized exchange. It really depends on which exchange that is. Based on the announcements of the actual exchange, I will either dump the coin immediately and take my profit, or I will write out the exchange listing, right? I'm just going to refresh the notifications just to see that Magicraft didn't post anything, because we got to keep up to date. So it says new tweet from Magicraft. No, they just announced the listing. So they're building the hype, right? They're building the hype, which is great. The team is extremely active, so I'm really enjoying as well how much they're posting. Literally every hour or so, people are posting, which I think is really great for the growth on the community that they have had so far, right? Which is always a key player for the long term. So one of my main points is the vesting, right? So on 3 months after the actual IDO date, the vesting is released for private sales, seed investors. So I think advisors, I think then the price will take a dump, right? Which would be around, I don't know when this actually got listed. So I think after the 19th it got listed. So let's say the 19th, well, we're looking at 19th February, right? January, February, March, 3 months. No. Let's take February into consideration because that's still a long time from now. So we don't even have to take it into consideration. That would be already like medium long term. And I'm just looking at short medium term right now. So the 12x, I think, is imminent, right? If we go to the Bitcoin recovery could be huge. If it does recover today and the listing tomorrow happens, obviously it will boost an influx because the greed index goes up. And right now we're quite in fear. If we look at the fear to greed, it is on fear, right? Which I would expect. And I think we were on the greed 40, I think, yesterday, still in fear, but 41. So that's already going towards greed. And now we have dumped quite a bit. And this is a nice little index to take care of. It's just an indication on how people are feeling relative to what's going on in the market. Quite cool, something I check every single day. All right, so now we go to basically exchanges and then spot, right? Because we want centralized exchanges. So definitely it's not Binance, it's not Coinbase, it's not FTX, right? It's not one of the 3 major exchanges. You can see that they're all dropping in volume because of the Bitcoin drop. So people are holding back at the moment. And that's not good for a listing usually, but it will do well. So what they mentioned before in the white paper, which has then been removed. So I covered Magicraft twice in this channel. One time the white paper mentioned KuCoin listing and Bybit in the first quarter. Then the second video I made, the white paper was updated and that was gone off the roadmap. Now it just says centralized exchange, not which ones. But let's assume that it would be Bybit, it's number 9 on volume. Let's say it would be KuCoin, it's number 5 on volume. That would be huge, but I think that more volume is required and a more like 2 weeks, 1 week after the listing. That's like very early for these 2 exchanges. Maybe Bybit would do it, but I don't think KuCoin would do it. So probably I'm looking for more something like Maxi or Gate.io. Gate.io would be huge, right? Because there's tremendous volume. Maxi would be trash because the volume is really low and the performance is not really there on Maxi, in my opinion. Maxi is like of a garbage centralized exchange. Not garbage, don't get me wrong. It's just a lower quality relative to most others, right? One of the lowest quality ones. Obviously also one of the easiest to get listed. Crypto.com would be huge because it just gives it so much more reach. Now the question is, what is it going to be? Is it going to be like some random like 40, 50, something that we don't even know about, something we don't see that often, specific to one part of the world? Then the impact is not good. So basically what I'm saying is it going to be Maxi or anything below it? So I would say anything outside of the top 11, right? Something, well, OKEX would be good as well. So it really depends on the volume. Let me filter on the volume, yeah. So would it be something, let's say, outside the top 20 volume, then probably I will dump the coin, I'll take my profit, right? Because a 10x, I can't complain about a 10x, right? What I'm looking for is Gate.io, KuCoin, or any high volume centralized exchange. With the team that is behind this project, I do understand that they need some time, right? And more centralized exchanges might be coming up after this. But I'm in it for the money. I'm not necessarily in it for the project. I think the project is great and will do great long term. I just don't want to wait for that first hit of either the Bitcoin goes down more or the vesting is released. So I would, as I said in the first video when I bought Magicraft, get out before that point anyway, right? Now, I do think that's very important to note that Gate.io, KuCoin, or high volume CEX would basically push my estimate according to the following, right? So let me also pull in the coin market cap. So it's 23 mil right now. See, it's like dumping a little bit, but as you can see, that pattern has been going on. So I think it will stabilize at this price, and then it will make a run as soon as the announcement is made, or it will dump depending on which exchange they're going to announce. All right, so sitting at about 10x right now. Whether the market cap is 9 million, it doesn't really matter, because most of these games easily go to like 40, 50, 60 million, right? Something to take into consideration. So I'm not really looking at the market cap. I'm more looking at the Xing, the multiple, based on the initial price where it all began. So it's from 1 to 10 with like no push, right? The influencers haven't spoken about it. And what I assume is that when they announce a centralized exchange, they will all retweet it and the fire will spread at that point, right? Which is just, I'm a marketing guy, so if I would own this project, then I would make the first major announcement, which would be the centralized exchange, and then put some fire in it. They're not going to make a video about it because they're all YouTubers, right? So I don't think they'll make a video about it. If that would happen, it would be huge, but I think they will wait for like the major exchange, and obviously until the point they have their token, so they can make some price movement as well. So most likely they will just retweet it, but they all have like 200, 500,000 followers. So that will spread some fire around. This is not even about the project right now. It's about marketing and market potential, right? So I think this point where we basically see like 12 cents, like a doubling on one of these three movements is inevitable, right? So easy 12 cents. So at that point, my token value, right? Because I'm just going to, for my investment, I also want to know how much I would actually get, right? Is important for me. So I'm just going to include that so I don't have to do it later. I can do everything right now. Tokens value. And then I'm going to use this accounting format. And then we're going to give it slight purple. Let's go. So times 100. Yeah, 85K. So I already said, even if it goes to 25K, which it had to reach 80 cents, I'm going to exit, right? That's like more than enough profit. So if it would reach this point, I'm out. No matter if it's gonna like moon, when it's like, if it's going to be KuCoin that they're going to get listed, I will put my sell order on 18 cents and I'm out. Could it reach like 31 cents? Sure. But I just 25K, like I can't say no to that. Like I'm a serious, or at least I pretend to be a serious investor, and that would be overplaying your hand, as I like to call it there. You take so much risk, which is not even worth it. 25 grand, you should be happy. That's like phenomenal results, right? However, I do think that there's like a drawback, right? Because the hype announcements, we've seen it. I've covered it many times on this channel. If you overhype the first major moves, there will be a significant pullback on the actual pricing, right? And right now, 6.7, 6.9, it's still going into the right direction. Even if it would dip, like you saw here, people getting some FOMO, they're dropping, they're taking profits, it just shoots back up, right? Because it's normal, people waiting for that centralized exchange. And a lot of people who watch my videos and others, they didn't get in at the point. So now they're FOMOing into the project, right? So what would be a great moment to buy? I'm not going to buy more. I wouldn't recommend you to buy more right now because it's basically a very risky moment. This is a high risk, high reward micro cap project, but if you love risk, if you like a bit of a gamble, even if it's just $500, $100, you could still buy right now and then ride the wave. You just need to hope, and that's why I say it's a bit of a gamble, that it's one of these three options that they're going to announce. If that's the case, you could still do a 10x, right? Even a 5x, which would be like an easy flip. If it's not one of these things, just make sure you dump quickly and minimize your losses potentially, right? So that's basically the buying part. Very two sentences, right? I'm more focused on the selling because that's, I assume, what most people want to see. So 18 cents is literally my cutoff point, right? 18 cents, I mean, the profit then at that point is amazing. I mean, at any point, even if the price would go down by 50% right now, right, literally this moment, then I'm still super happy because like 4K profit, that's like perfect, that's awesome. However, we want to get the most potential, right? So we're looking right here. So I'm taking this into consideration. So they're saying 23 market cap. I don't think this would go to, just in the current state, as fresh as it is, to over 100 million, right? Because that would give it like over $1 billion fully diluted. It could happen because of the hype, but then it will crash down afterwards. So I'm going to take 1 billion fully diluted as the maximum, which would bring it to 50 million here. And 50 million according to this would be 35 cents. And 50 million according to this would be about 15 cents. Right, so I'm going to highlight this depending on what the actual circulating supply would be. And it's 15 cents. Right here. So you can see it definitely a different potential according to which market cap and which circulating supply. The problem is we don't know. I assume this is from the white paper, right? What CryptoRank is using. And CoinMarketCap, they already say that it's not verified yet, which makes sense. Self-reported circulating supply. And circulating supply here is higher, which then I would say, as conservative as I am, take this into consideration, 23 million, and don't overhype it, right? Just stay conservative. Which means that at that point, there is little room. Well, not little. I mean, you're still going to shoot up to that 20K. So this would be even under that maximum here. This would be another good exit, right? And I mean, the price predictions are just predictions, get me wrong. I've been wrong many times where it literally shot up, like literally all the way to like 85 million, which would in this case be like 300 million. You would like a $2.5 billion fully diluted. It can happen, right? Because the crypto market's crazy. However, I do want to be realistic in where I set my expectations myself, right? So, and what I would be happy with. Right, that's one of the most important things. Stay down to earth. 18 cents, 14 cents. I might even do it like this, you know, drop 50% here and drop 50% here. Because in that case, you know, how much would I make? Just play it a little bit more safe, right? Still working at that point with like 23x almost by just playing it safe with the stepladder model, making like 2 sell-off strategies. What is likely to occur, however, which I think is really important to note, as soon as, well, let's pull this up in PooCoin, shall we? I think that's like a real-time chart might be nice to see. Okay, there we go. Let's put it on 1 minute. Okay, so this is how the chart has been moving, right? Upward trend all day, but you can see, and this is something I wanted to show you, there's still people using high slippage, and these are like bigger orders, right? So one of these orders occurred here, which is like a bigger one, which is, what's the time here? 8:40. So if we go to the actual log and then scroll back to 8:40, which was quite a while ago. Oh, here we go. It's not that long ago. Now this is what I like to do. So this is like a $65,000 purchase order, 120 BNB, right? He waited for the dip, very smart, probably more of a professional guy. And then this is probably going to be dumped on the listing. So again here, this was 912. And this is all part of the research, right? Something just to take into consideration that if you see red candles down, people pushing big sell orders with slippage, because this is still on PancakeSwap, right? It was 912, right? Okay, so we have 3.5K. That's not that significant. It's also not a huge candle up. At 916. It's like a full ladder there, 914. So we have to go a little bit up. Here we get some like buy orders. All right, 9K, 7K, right? 4K, 4K. Those are like bigger here, 13K. And then we have some drops as well. So people playing the charts a little. But if you don't have any red candles down, like this, for example, this red candle, if that continues in a row, it gives a pattern that people are looking to dump off. Now you see like the spikes are all green, right? And I'm not a technical analysis guy. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about when reading charts. I'm just looking for patterns. And this is an indicative pattern that we're still in an upward trend, which I think they will maintain until the announcement, right? That's all I'm saying. So that definitely looks healthy. That looks good. Still in a good flow there. Looking at the profit. Where was I going? I was going to go over these exchanges. All right, yeah. What's very important to note, one very important lesson, right? Right now it's on PancakeSwap. So that's why we're tracking here on PooCoin with the chart, right? And everything. What you'll have to note, so these are the pairings. There's only one pairing with BNB, right? What you'll have to note is that if it comes to these exchanges, you can transfer from your wallet that you connect, whether it's Trust Wallet or MetaMask, to one of these exchanges, right? But you cannot withdraw for the listing date or two, usually 24, 48 hours, you cannot withdraw. So because what will happen is under the markets, there will be a price difference between these markets, right? So this is 6.9, this is 6.6. But at some point, if it gets listed like on KuCoin might go to like 35 cents, right? And Pancake, the arbitrage will take time because you cannot withdraw for KuCoin, you can only deposit. So it will take like maybe 10 minutes, maybe sometimes even half an hour for the price to get stabilized, and then you can sell on Pancake for the higher price that is also in KuCoin, and the KuCoin price will come down a little bit, right? If those exchanges are doing that. But all centralized exchanges will lock withdrawals on major listings. They will just enable deposits, and usually you can deposit before the listing goes live. Very important to consider if you are thinking that you're smarter than everybody else and playing off an arbitrage movement there multiple times. That's not possible, I'm afraid. However, don't get wrecked by thinking, oh my God, the price is so low on Pancake, I'm going to buy there. And then as soon as the withdrawals get open in KuCoin, the price drops because the arbitrage happens. And you're not faster than the arbitrage companies that make a living of that. Right? So usually when it's too good to be true, it is too good to be true, unless you subscribe to my channel and you find these early gems, right? Anyway, this is basically what I'm looking at doing. I don't want to make it more complicated than it is. 14.4 cents, I should drop 50%, 18, 50%. In case it is not one of these exchanges, what I will do is I will watch what the market is doing. If it takes more than a 15% drop within an hour, right? So as soon as the announcement comes, I get a notification. If it drops more than 15%, I'm going to sell and make sure at that point you use some higher slippage because it will be required. At that point, I'll just take profit if it's not any of the high volume centralized exchanges, so top 20 on volume, if it's not KuCoin or not Gate.io. So if it's like Mexi, it still might do really well on Mexi, right? I just don't want to risk it. I'm not going to gamble. I have enough returns so far. So this is my full price prediction and centralized exchange update. Let me know what you think in the comments down below about Magicraft, the opportunities. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them down in the comments and I'll be sure to have a look. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.